Did you know that your body often gives you subtle warnings about heart problems long before things get serious? From shortness of breath to chest pain, there are key signs you should never ignore. These symptoms might seem minor at first, but understanding them could make all the difference in catching heart issues early. Let's dive right in and uncover the crucial signs your body might be showing you about your heart health. It's fascinating how a small crease in the ear, known as Frank's sign, can be a surprising clue to potential heart problems. While most people might think it's just an odd wrinkle, research suggests that this little mark could be linked to heart disease. When your body tries to warn you, it can be through these unique signs, and noticing it can feel like uncovering a hidden message. If you spot this, it's not necessarily cause for alarm, but perhaps a gentle nudge to pay closer attention to your heart health. Additionally, hair loss on the legs is another clue many wouldn't typically associate with heart issues. Blood circulation plays a big role in hair health, and when circulation is compromised, the hair follicles can take a hit. To someone noticing this change, it might seem trivial, but in reality, it's a significant message. See how clever your body is at delivering hints? A good tip is to check if you notice any other changes in your legs, like skin discoloration or emerging varicose veins. These could be telling you it's time to focus on heart health. These signs might seem small, but together they tell a story worth listening to. Caring for your heart is like being a good listener. Pay attention to the signals and ask yourself if your lifestyle really aligns with what your body needs. And speaking of important details, let's talk about other more visible signs like xanthelasma and cyanosis that might be showing up in your daily routine without you realizing it. Sometimes the body shows its warnings right on your face. Take xanthelasma, for example. Those small yellow patches on the eyelids that seem harmless but might be hinting at underlying heart problems. They're often tied to high cholesterol, which is a risk factor for heart disease. So, if you notice these patches, it could be your body saying, "Hey, let's pay attention to that cholesterol level." It's not about panicking. It's about listening to the little cues and taking proactive steps for heart health. Then there's cyanosis, the bluish tint that can appear on the lips or fingertips when there's not enough oxygen in the blood. This change in color can be subtle, almost as if your body is whispering that something might be off with your heart or lungs. Imagine looking down and noticing a slight blue tint. It's like your body's way of sending a smoke signal. If you see this, it's worth a visit to the doctor to check out what might be happening under the surface. Each of these signs, like xanthelasma and cyanosis, are tiny puzzle pieces that might indicate a larger picture. They remind us that heart problems can sometimes be written on the skin or reflected in small changes in our appearance. Recognizing these signs is the first step to protecting your heart. And there's more to uncover. How about the classic sign of swelling or edema, which might seem minor but can speak volumes about your heart health? Edema or swelling might seem like just a side effect of a long day on your feet, but it could be pointing to something more serious. When your heart isn't pumping blood as effectively, fluids can build up in the tissues, causing swelling in places like your ankles and feet. Think of it as your body's way of waving a red flag. If you notice this type of persistent swelling, it's worth looking into. Maybe it's time for a heart checkup to see what's going on beneath the surface. And then there are those lesser-known signs that don't get much attention. Did you know that feeling unusually tired or dizzy could be related to your heart health? It's easy to brush off fatigue or dizziness as just part of a busy life, but they could actually be early indicators of heart problems. Imagine getting winded just walking up the stairs. If this is happening more often, your heart might be trying to tell you something. So, edema and other symptoms can be clues that, while easy to overlook, are your body's way of communicating that it needs a little TLC. Paying attention to these subtle changes is like tuning into an early warning system. Next up, we'll explore more concrete symptoms that many people experience, like shortness of breath and chest pain, which can be telltale signs of heart distress. Breathlessness, or dyspnea, can often strike when you're just going about your day. If simply walking up a few steps has you gasping for air, it might be your heart struggling to keep up. This shortness of breath, especially when out of proportion to the activity, is a classic sign that heart failure could be in the picture. It's your body's way of letting you know that it might need a bit of help handling the extra load. A persistent cough with white or pinkish mucus can also be a telltale sign. If your heart's not pumping effectively, fluids can back up into your lungs, causing that annoying cough that just won't quit. Many shrug it off as a cold, but when it comes with this kind of mucus, it could point to your heart not doing its job quite right. It's another way your body hints at what's going on under the hood. Lastly, trouble breathing when you lie down is another important clue. If you find yourself propping up on extra pillows or feeling like you're gasping for air at night, you could be dealing with something called paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea. This symptom, often caused by fluid backing up in the lungs, signals that your heart might need a little extra care. And speaking of care, let's move on to those signs of weakness and fluid retention that can crop up during the day. Feeling constantly tired or weak, even with a full night's sleep, can be more than just fatigue. It might be your heart struggling to pump enough blood to fuel your muscles and tissues. When the heart can't keep up, simple tasks like climbing stairs or grocery shopping can feel like running a marathon. If you're feeling this kind of weakness regularly, it could be time to give your heart a bit of extra attention and care. Another lesser-known sign of heart trouble is nocturia, or frequent nighttime trips to the bathroom. This symptom can seem like just an inconvenience, but it's often linked to fluid buildup during the day. When you lie down at night, that fluid redistributes and your kidneys work overtime to clear it out, sending you to the bathroom multiple times. It's your body's way of trying to deal with the excess fluid that accumulates when the heart isn't functioning as it should. These signs of weakness and fluid retention are clues that your heart might be working harder than it needs to. Paying attention to these subtle changes can make a big difference in catching heart issues early. By the way, if you're finding this helpful, don't forget to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with more health tips like these. Now, let's talk about circulation issues and that familiar chest pain that's often a big red flag for heart problems. Claudication, or intermittent pain in the calves, is another sign that your heart might not be delivering blood as efficiently as it should. If you find yourself walking and suddenly experiencing pain in your legs that eases when you stop, it could be due to poor blood flow. This is often a result of blocked arteries, and while many people associate circulation problems with just the legs, it's closely tied to your heart's ability to keep the blood moving. It's almost like your legs are signaling for help when your heart can't quite keep up. Then there's chest pain, the classic heart warning that no one should ignore. Whether it feels like pressure, tightness, or a burning sensation, chest pain is one of the strongest indicators that something serious could be going on with your heart. And it doesn't always stop at the chest. This pain can spread to the left arm, neck, jaw, or even the back, making it unmistakable. If you've ever felt this kind of pain, it's your heart's way of shouting for attention, and it's time to act fast. So, paying attention to these signs, whether it's pain in your legs or your chest, can be the difference between catching a heart issue early or letting it progress. Your body speaks to you in subtle ways, and now that you've learned these important signs, what will you do next to protect your heart? When it comes to heart health, some risks are written in your DNA, while others are shaped by the choices you make every day. Smoking, for example, is one of the most dangerous habits when it comes to heart problems. Each cigarette you light up tightens your blood vessels, making it harder for your heart to pump blood effectively. Over time, the damage accumulates, leaving your heart working overtime just to keep up. Quitting might not be easy, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do to protect your heart. Obesity is another major risk factor. Carrying extra weight forces your heart to work harder, increasing blood pressure and raising cholesterol levels. High cholesterol is like throwing fuel on the fire. It builds up in your arteries, narrowing the passageways and making it difficult for blood to flow smoothly. If left unchecked, it can lead to heart attacks or strokes. Small changes in diet and lifestyle can make a world of difference here, but first, recognizing that weight and cholesterol are deeply tied to heart health is key. And then there's family history, the factor none of us can control. If heart disease runs in your family, your risk is naturally higher. However, knowing this doesn't mean you're doomed. It means you have a heads up to take action early. Monitoring your heart health regularly, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and staying informed about your risk factors can make all the difference. Now that we've looked at the risks, let's explore some concrete prevention tips that can keep your heart strong and healthy. Taking care of your heart doesn't have to be complicated. It starts with a few simple, consistent habits. Regular exercise is one of the best things you can do to strengthen your heart. Whether it's a 30-minute walk around the neighborhood, swimming, or even dancing, the key is to get moving. Exercise helps lower blood pressure, improve circulation, and keep your weight in check. It's like giving your heart a workout to make sure it stays strong for years to come. Of course, diet plays a massive role in heart health. A healthy diet isn't about strict restrictions, but rather about making choices that support your heart. Focus on whole foods, plenty of fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. Reducing salt and sugar can go a long way in keeping your blood pressure and glucose levels in a healthy range. And remember, healthy fats from sources like fish and olive oil are your heart's best friend. Another big tip: if you smoke, it's time to quit. Smoking cessation can dramatically reduce your risk of heart disease. And don't forget to keep an eye on your blood pressure and glucose levels. These silent indicators often don't show symptoms until it's too late, so regular checkups are essential. A few small changes today can mean a healthier heart tomorrow. And with these simple prevention strategies, you'll be giving your heart the best chance to stay healthy and strong for the long run. Now that you know the signs your body gives you about potential heart issues, What will you do with this knowledge? Catching these early warnings can literally save lives, maybe even your own. So, start paying attention to those subtle clues and take action where it's needed. Remember, a healthy heart leads to a healthier life. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with someone who might need this information, and subscribe to the channel for more health tips. And hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Your heart will thank you for it.